Good evening. Some believe the moon is but a silent satellite, cold, lifeless, and barren. But others, the few who see beyond, speak of structures, signals, and watchers. Tonight, we delve into the visions of a man whose mind touched distant worlds. His name was Ingo Swann, and what he saw was not meant for human eyes. I am Sebastian, your devoted host, and this is From Beyond.
For millennia, humanity has gazed upon the moon, a silent sentinel in our night sky. It has inspired poets, guided navigators, and fueled countless myths. We see its familiar face, bathed in sunlight, yet nearly half of its surface remains forever hidden from our direct view here on Earth. A place we colloquially, though inaccurately, call the dark side of the moon. But what if this hidden hemisphere harbors secrets far beyond our current understanding? What if it's not just dark, but concealing something? Officially, the far side of the moon was first glimpsed by the Soviet Luna 3 probe in 1959. Subsequent missions, both robotic and crewed, have meticulously mapped its craters, its vast basins, and its rugged terrain. Science tells us it's geologically different, lacking the large maria, the seas, that characterize the near side. A relatively barren, pockmarked landscape, devoid of life, devoid of anything truly extraordinary. Or so we're told. But what if some individuals, through extraordinary means, have glimpsed what our telescopes and probes have missed? What if they've seen things so astonishing, so paradigm-shifting, that the powers that be have gone to extreme lengths to keep them hidden? Tonight, we delve into a tale that blurs the lines between psychic ability, government secrets, and the unexplored frontiers of our own solar system. We're talking about Ingo Swann, the man who claimed to have psychically explored the moon, and what he allegedly found there. Ingo Swann was no ordinary individual. He was a highly respected, self-proclaimed consciousness researcher, and arguably one of the most significant figures in the history of remote viewing. For those unfamiliar, remote viewing is the alleged ability to perceive details about a distant or unseen target without physical contact or traditional sensory input. It sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? Yet, for decades, the United States government, particularly the CIA and the Defense Intelligence Agency, poured millions into investigating and, some would say, weaponizing this very phenomenon. Swann's journey into the world of psychic phenomena began much earlier, but it was his involvement with Stanford Research Institute, or SRI, in the 1970s that truly brought him to prominence. Under projects like Stargate Project Swann, alongside other gifted individuals, participated in a series of rigorous, scientifically controlled experiments designed to test the efficacy of remote viewing. His ability to accurately describe locations, objects, and even events he had never physically witnessed, often from thousands of miles away, baffled scientists and impressed intelligence officials. He could describe a specific building in Russia, the contents of a sealed box, or the weather patterns over a distant ocean. His accuracy rate was, for some, alarmingly high. But then, the targets of his psychic explorations took a truly extraterrestrial turn. The year was 1973. The Cold War was in full swing, and the space race, though officially winding down, still simmered beneath the surface. According to Swann's own accounts, and later corroborated by some involved in the programs, he was approached by a mysterious individual identified only as Mr. Axelrod, a man described as a high-level intelligence operative, possibly from the CIA or a related agency. Axelrod had a most unusual proposition for Swann: remote view the moon. Swann initially resisted, finding the idea of psychically traveling across hundreds of thousands of miles of space absurd. But Axelrod persisted, urging him to focus on the far side of the moon, the side perpetually hidden from Earth. He provided Swann with specific lunar coordinates, not for any known landing sites or scientific anomalies, but for areas that were ostensibly barren and uninteresting. What Swann reported back was, to put it mildly, sensational. He described not the desolate, crater-strewn landscape everyone expected, but rather evidence of what he called structures. He saw what appeared to be massive artificial constructs, towers, buildings, and other geometric shapes, some of them incredibly ancient, others seemingly active. He reported seeing lines, patterns, and what looked like roads or pathways. This was not the moon we knew. But it wasn't just structures. Swann also claimed to perceive what he referred to as moon dust, not just the regolith we're familiar with, but a type of fine metallic dust that obscured certain areas. And then there were the lights. He described flashing lights, subtle glows, and what appeared to be artificial illumination emanating from specific points on the lunar surface. It was as if something was operating, something was there. As if the discovery of artificial structures wasn't enough, Swann's remote viewing sessions on the moon allegedly escalated into something far more unsettling. He began to perceive beings. He described entities, not necessarily humanoid, but certainly intelligent, moving about on or within these structures. He called them lunarians. These beings, according to Swann, were aware of his psychic intrusions. He described feeling a sense of being observed, of being pushed back, as if some unseen force was actively trying to prevent him from seeing more. He even claimed to have experienced a moment of intense fear and disorientation, a psychic slap, when he got too close to certain sensitive areas. It was clear he was trespassing. The implications were staggering. If Swann was accurate, it meant that not only were there artificial structures on the moon, but there was also an indigenous, or at least currently residing, intelligent presence. And perhaps they didn't appreciate human curiosity. This immediately raises a crucial question. If this is true, why hasn't NASA or any other space agency revealed it? This is where the narrative descends deeper into the realm of conspiracy. Swann himself, and many who have studied his work, believe that his lunar remote viewing sessions were immediately classified at the highest levels. The information was deemed too sensitive, too disruptive to public perception, and too strategically important to ever be revealed. Think about it. If there's an intelligent presence on the moon, a presence capable of building structures and potentially even deterring psychic exploration, how would that fundamentally change our understanding of our place in the universe? How would it impact global politics, religion, and scientific endeavors? It would be, without hyperbole, the most significant discovery in human history. And yet, there has been silence. Proponents of Swann's claims point to several alleged pieces of circumstantial evidence. The anomalous features seen in some high-resolution lunar photographs, often dismissed as photographic artifacts or unusual geological formations, are re-examined through the lens of Swann's descriptions. Whispers of astronauts witnessing strange phenomena during Apollo missions, vague mentions in declassified documents, and the overall secrecy surrounding certain aspects of the space program are all cited as potential corroboration. They argue that the reason we haven't gone back to the moon with the same urgency as in the 60s and 70s isn't due to budget cuts or lack of scientific interest. but because something was found. Something that made humanity realize it wasn't alone, and perhaps not entirely welcome, on our closest celestial neighbor. Of course, it's crucial to approach these claims with a healthy dose of skepticism. Mainstream science and government agencies vehemently deny any such discoveries. The structures Swann described have never been officially observed by telescopes or probes. The lights he saw are attributed to natural lunar phenomena, and the idea of lunarians is firmly placed in the realm of science fiction. Critics argue that remote viewing, despite its proponents' claims, lacks consistent, independently verifiable scientific proof. They suggest that Swann's descriptions, while seemingly detailed, could be attributed to confirmation bias, subconscious associations, or even deliberate fabrication, especially given the mysterious nature of his alleged handlers like Mr. Axelrod. Furthermore, the vastness of space and the sheer number of objects captured in lunar photography make it almost inevitable that some formations will, to the imaginative eye, resemble artificial structures. This phenomenon, known as pareidolia, is a common psychological tendency to interpret random patterns as meaningful images. The declassified documents from the Stargate project, while fascinating, also contain many instances of inaccurate or inconclusive remote viewing data. Skeptics argue that while Swann was undoubtedly a talented individual, his lunar claims were outliers, perhaps influenced by personal beliefs or even the leading questions of his handlers, who might have wanted to believe in something extraordinary. Despite the scientific pushback, the story of Ingo Swann and his lunar revelations continues to captivate. It taps into a primal human curiosity. Are we truly alone? And if not, are those other intelligences benevolent, indifferent, or even hostile? The idea of a hidden lunar civilization observing us from our own backyard is both terrifying and exhilarating. It forces us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about the moon, about space exploration, and about the very fabric of reality itself. While Ingo Swann passed away in 2013, his legacy and the incredible claims he made live on. Whether you believe his accounts are the ramblings of a gifted but deluded individual, or a glimpse into a suppressed truth, one thing is undeniable. The far side of the moon, that enigmatic, perpetually hidden hemisphere, remains a canvas onto which we project our deepest fears and our most audacious hopes. Perhaps one day, our technology will advance to a point where the secrets of the moon's far side are unequivocally revealed. Until then, the story of Ingo Swann serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes the most profound truths are hidden not in plain sight, but in the deepest shadows, just beyond the reach of our current understanding. I have told you what I know. Whether you believe it or not is entirely up to you.
So, while the night envelops us with its shadows and mysteries, the moon escorts us with its pale light. What did Ingo Swann really see? Are we alone? Or, more likely, are we not the absolute masters of this immense universe? Imagine that what Swann saw is real. This would mean not only that the moon is occupied, but that our history, our science, and our worldview are incomplete. The beauty of Ingo Swann's mystery is that it forces us to confront not only the unknown, but also our own cosmic arrogance. Perhaps we are not the masters. Perhaps we are just the neighbors who have not yet been introduced. And perhaps, deep down, it is for the best. The next time you look up at the moon, shining bright and beautiful in the sky, ask yourself, is someone looking back at me?